Industrial music is full of iconic sounds, but not all of them came from the synthesizers you'd expect. Some of those cold sounds came from a synth that flew under the radar, the Kawai K4. The Kawai K4 was a direct evolution of the Kawai K1, a PCM-based digital synth released in 1988 that turned out to be a real commercial success with over 50,000 units sold. Kawai had already been exploring digital synthesis throughout the 80s. It started with the K3 in 86, a hybrid synth combining digital waveforms with analog filters, followed by the K5 in 87, which focused on additive synthesis. All of this was part of Kawai's attempt to make its own space during the late 80s, going up against heavyweights like the Yamaha DX7, Roland's D50, I love this one, and obviously the Korg's M1, by offering a more affordable synth. With the Kawai K4, the goal was to fix K1's biggest limitations. The K4 solved these problems by moving to 16-bit, marketed as CD quality sample storage, and adding digitally controlled filters with proper cutoff, resonance, and envelope controls. The K4 was officially unveiled in late '89 alongside its rack-mount sibling, the K4R, the one I own. Early reviews appeared in Music Technology in December '89 and Sound on Sound in January 1990. Priced at around £895 in the UK, which would be equivalent to 2,600 in today's money. I bought mine for 200 Canadian, which was a steal. The K4 perfectly reflected Kawai's strategy at the time, delivering cool features while keeping the synth accessible. The differences between the K4 and the K4R, apart from the obvious lack of keyboard on the rack mount, are quite simple. The K4 has effects, but only single stereo output. The rack model has 8 outputs, but no effects. The Kawai K4 is known for its distinctly cold digital character, a sound that fits naturally into industrial, techno, and other harsh electronic styles. The K4 isn't really the synth you grab for big, fat bass sounds. You can do it, but that's not where it really shines. It does some cool leads, sure, and has some of the best presets I heard, like this one. Has cool orchestral stuff too. But where the K4 really comes into its own is with pads and ambient drones. Especially in the lower octaves, that's where it really has its own vibe. Honestly, I think the Kawai K4 is pretty underrated. I've seen people say they don't like it, but most of the time it feels like they just didn't spend enough time with it. Or they write it off because it sounds dirty and full of digital artifacts, but that's what kind of makes it special. And it's exactly what sets it apart from all the super clean late 80s digital synths. The K4 has a huge online community. You can find some pretty amazing banks out there, and people are still selling and designing sounds on the K4. Here's some of my favorites. When I hear the K4, I instantly think of early 90s electro-industrial. You know, those cold, kind of lifeless, but still really cool sounds? It fits perfectly alongside fatter, more analog style sounds. Think of early Frontline Assembly, Wumpscut, or early Osiko. The K4 has been used by a wide range of artists, from Tangerine Dream to The Frozen Autumn, as seen in live performance photos like this one. In a 1997 interview, Rudy of Wumpscut listed the Kawai K4 as part of his studio setup, right around the time Bunker Tour 7 and Embryo Dead was released. Two absolute classics. Jan from X-Fusion Noise Effects actually started out with a Kawai K4. It was his first synth, which he got in '91. The synth also appears in the synth pop and future pop world. The German band Solitary Experiments, founded in '94 in Frankfurt, originally started with a very minimal setup, an Amiga 500 paired with a Kawai K4. The Kawai K4 also played a role in Frontline Assembly's Caustic Grip era. Reese Fulber described the Caustic Grip sessions as intentionally stripped down. Caustic Grip was a minimal setup. All we used was the Atari and a Kai S1000 and S950, a Minimoog, Micromoog, Pro 1, and a Kawai K4 for strings. Less is more, I'm starting to think. You guys know me, I reached out to Reese and he actually confirmed that he used the K4 on Caustic Grip. And also added that he used it on Delerium's Semantic Spaces. Amazing album, by the way. He also used it on his side project Intermix, which was a collaboration between Bill Lieb and Reese Fulber in the early 90s. After going through the history and the sounds, I wanted to actually put the K4 to use. If you're into music production, make sure to check out my Patreon page or my website. Let's go.